Today, I'll show you how to make this abstract render. This scene is very simple. To start, add a circle and rotate it by 90 degrees around the x-axis. Go into edit mode and extrude it along the y-axis. I recommend to extrude it around 200 units. The second object is an icosphere. Increase the subdivisions to around 4 or 5 to make it smooth, and of course shade smooth as well. Make sure you also shade smooth the tube. Scale down the icosphere a bit and make sure to move it back quite a lot. The scene is already done. Everything else is done with materials. I'm going to drag out a new shader editor and add a new material to the tube. The tube is just perfectly reflective, so let's increase the metallic and decrease the roughness to 0. Make sure you're in cycles because Eevee can often glitch out with this effect. Now add a material to the icosphere. Replace the principled BSDF with an emission shader. You can choose the color here, but what I like to do is use the black body node. This gives me really nice orange or yellow tones, and I've found a temperature of around 1750 to work nicely. Now let's go back to the tube and fine tweak that material. Add a noise and a bump node and connect them to the principled BSDF. What you'll see is that the texture is stretched. Press Ctrl T with the node wrangler installed to get a texture coordinate and mapping node. Use the object coordinates to remove stretching. I'll also decrease the scale a bit on the mapping node, as well as stretch it slightly on the x-axis. Back into the camera view and fine tweak the materials. Change the focal length of the camera so that the reflections fill the frame. Now the scene is nearly done, but what I like to do is make this tube reflection be yellow, but the sphere have a different color to give it a bit of contrast. You can do this very easily with the light path node. So add a mix RGB node between the black body and emissions and set the color 2 to what you want the sphere to look like. Add a light path node and connect the IsCamera array to the mix slider of the mix RGB. To get bloom, add a map range node and connect the result to the emission strength. Use the camera array as the value and set the min to 1, as this is how bright the reflections look. The max is how bright the sphere is, so I turn that up to 10. This allows us to add bloom in the compositor. Don't forget to set the world background to black so you don't get any gray reflections. If you want to animate this, you can set the noise text 4D and add a driver to the W slider. And that's it. That's how you make this very simple abstract render. I hope you enjoyed. See ya!